Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready here.
He's taken another one and another, and Howard Foster has stopped it. Wow, that is going to be controversial.
That's a crunching right hand, and that must finish it. It must finish it.
Taylor trying to catch himself, using his jab, eats a right hand, another right hand, and he goes down. Oh my goodness!
The dream is made real. Ricky Hatton rocks the world with a truly stunning win over a modern legend. He is the champion of the world.
Yes. It's Raps on TV back in the building. It's been a few weeks out. Here to talk the best in boxing. Here with my co-host Tom Lyons as per usual, but we just want to say a massive shout out to all the Instagram, Facebook followers, everyone that's been subscribing. We really appreciate all the support that we're getting, and we've got a big show today. Really looking forward to it. We've got a special guest, world champion. And before I go into more, I'm going to let Tom just introduce himself and say hello. What's up, Tom?
I'm good, mate. Spot on introduction there. I mean, it's been a long time waiting, hasn't it? Getting a top class world champion the studio. So we're presenting the WBO Super Bantamweight Champion of the World to the Raps on TV platform, Isaac Dogboe. How you getting on, Isaac?
I'm doing great, Tom. How you guys all doing?
Very well.
We're doing really well. Also, we have Melissa from Melt PR. I didn't want to butcher your surname, so as much as I'm Oduro Kwarteng, so it's a surname people don't always get right. But yeah, just wanted to say, it's for you to say hello. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you, and thank you for having us today.
And thank you for arranging this interview. It's been really great having you.
Worries.
So no, guys, listen, we've got a packed agenda today. Obviously, we have Isaac in the studio with us, ready for any questions that you have, talking about his his first defense of his WBO bantamweight title. And we're also going to kick into the Khan versus Vargas fight, which is taking place this weekend down in Birmingham, another Matchroom show, and then we're also going to be kicking into...
Yeah, we're just going to bridge down onto the small hall scene this weekend. We've got a big Steve Goodwin show, Fight City Cup concept. Got Dwayne Hotshot Sinclair facing Dominic Felix in the first semi-final of their light heavyweight division contest. And yeah, a few massive prospects on the cards. Ricky Evans is making his 8th professional fight and looking to continue his unbeaten record. So, I mean, from top to bottom, we've got a packed agenda, and just looking forward to hear Isaac's backstory and how he got into boxing and the progress he's made to becoming a world champion.
Which is more than great, which is great progress. So, Isaac, first question straight to you. Obviously, your name's Isaac Braveson. You go by the name Isaac Dogboe. Which is your preference, and how did, I guess, maybe Braveson, what's the difference between the two?
Well, Isaac Braveson was a title from the beginning. That's what during my amateur days, we started with Isaac Braveson because before, I was a little guy, a young man with a brave heart, so also always like Isaac Braveson. But as we were moving along the ladder, when I go into the pros, we changed it to Isaac Royal Storm.
Nice.
Royal Storm, the royal coming from my my royalty, my family, and the storm is taking the world by storm.
Yeah, and I'm sure we're going to get into that more, but I'm of Ghanaian heritage, as you would have known, because you're Kwarteng, Ashanti born Swami. So listen, just talk to us about a little bit of the royal family and the lineage that you're coming from. And I guess we won't talk about how that helps you, but just give us a bit of a background into that.
I come from the Togbi Badu Royal House of Anyako in the Volta region.
Yep.
And that's the Volta part of Ghana.
Pure power.
Yeah. Pure power in God.
Exactly.
Pure power in God, yeah. It's always been great. My father is an heir to a throne. And so it's we have a strong family in Ghana, and but for me, everything started here in England. Of course, everyone knows that I was born in Ghana. That's my roots, and but my foundation in boxing all started here in Great Britain.
Yeah, nice.
Brilliant. And like you're talking about there, your uproots. I mean, the term Neho, we're going to come on to it. Neho.
Give it to us.
we can stop this and you can just keep saying Neho the whole time. But yeah, like I was saying there, I mean, we look across the table here, we see a young, articulate, you know, fresh young man who's just gone from the bottom to the top, you know, and it's like how you've progressed from the very grassroots of the sport right to the pinnacle, see dethroning Jesse Magdalena for the title. How did that WBO title shot come about, Isaac?
Well, you know, Jesse Magdalena was supposed to fight with Cesar Juarez. Cesar Juarez was the number one contender.
Yeah.
The mandatory contender to Magdalena. And we went to the WBO convention, you know, and Jesse had obviously been inactive for about a year or more, a year and a few days, and you know, we lobbied for the fight. We said to, you know, but usually because he couldn't fight at that particular date, the WBO suggested that Magdalena fight with the number 2 contender.
Yeah.
You know, and they suggested number 1 contender should fight number 2 contender. I was number 3. So number 2 contender, you know, seeing how Juarez was so strong and how determined he was, we believed that he just didn't want to fight, you know. So they pulled out, and we were like, we had a convention, you know, lobbying for the fight. We were like, yeah. I put up my hand. I was like, hello, Mr. President. I'm right here, Isaac Dogboe. I would love to fight this gentleman any day, anytime. I'm really looking forward to it. And yeah, that was it. So they did their, you know, deliberation, and boom, Isaac Dogboe versus Cesar Juarez. It's on.
The rest is history.
It's on. And January 2018, that was the first fight, you know, in the world. First fight, and we got it done. You know, I stopped Juarez in round 5. And previously, Juarez had taken, you know, Nonito Donaire to hell and back.
Yeah.
And, you know, so it was a great fight. And I stopped him in round 5. Previously, prior to that, I knocked him down, I think, in 2nd round or 3rd round. And then the stoppage was great. And then from then, we're mandatory to Jesse Magdalena.
Yeah, and just talk us through the Jesse Magdalena fight. I mean, Magdalena, anyone that knows boxing, dangerous live opponent, you know, tricky, awkward. I mean, how did you, like, going into the fight, I mean, looking at your stature right now, you're compact, you know, even though you're quite short compared to Magdalena, how did you negate his sort of strengths to make sure you got through the fight unscathed?
Well, you know, Magdalena is a very talented boxer. You know, he's got a very good boxing IQ. And there's nothing you can take away from him. You know, being a world champion doesn't come easy. Yeah. You have to go through some sort of adversity. You know, so him beating Nonito Donaire, taking a title, you have to give him credit for that.
He was undefeated when you beat him as well. So.
Exactly. So, but it was a fight that, I mean, all the boxing world, the whole boxing world kind of like wrote me off. You know, they're like, nah, it's too early for me to fight.
Underdog status.
Yeah, too early for me to fight for a world title. Even when I was going to fight Juarez, they were like, Juarez is too strong, you know, he can knock him out. A lot of people criticize my father, you know, for that reason. My father said to them, like, you know, look, Isaac, the way he fights is if you put a good position in front of him, that's when you see something great come out.
The peak of your
you
performance.
pull something out of the locker.
Exactly.
You raise your game, like the challenge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You really see the true potential of Isaac. You know, so they shouldn't worry about it. You know, the same with Magdalena. You know, but we went into the fight. We knew that this was it. We were gonna win it. You know, we had no doubt. You know, so during camp and everything, you know, there are a lot of hoo-has that came about, you know, from Jesse's camp, and we couldn't just sit still, and so we also, you know, fired back, and it got the boxing world really interested in the fight, and 100%. It was great, yeah. So
I mean, and I want to take you back to the Magdalena fight, if I can, and obviously early in the fight, you were knocked down. What was going through your thoughts at that specific time after the knockdown? The ref counts you back into 10. What was you thinking?
Well, you know, going into that fight in particular, you know, every time I get into a fight, you know, after training, after camp is done and everything, all we do is we go for prayers. You know, we have a place that we go in Ghana, that's in the Volta region, a Ten Commandment temple. That's the ARS church. That's the church I go to, and I was with my uncle, Prophet Wogbliho. He put me into confinement for like 7 days, and just praying, and so yeah. So after that, we moved to America to finish off, the camp and just prepare for the fight. So I went down, but I was not shaking. I was not shaking at all.
Was it more of a flash knockdown? If
Exactly.
anything?
Yeah. Because Southpaw and Orthodox, you're more or less like you stand in the opposite
direction.
So
but South.
He caught me with a shot with a left hook, but it's not a punch that on a normal day it would take me down. But I went off balance and I couldn't regain it.
Yeah.
But look, you have to give. If you're a warrior, you have to accept everything that comes your way. I accepted it. Look, he knocked me down fair and square. Great, I got counted.
Yes.
But the most important thing is I did not.
Your legs as well, because when you got back up, you didn't look wobbled in the sense of, we've seen various knockouts throughout the years, or knockdown, sorry, and there are some that you just get knocked down and the fighter gets back up and you can see it was just one of those things, you just get caught, in the wrong way. So it's like Ward versus Kovalev. Kovalev knocked him down early, but it was just the way he caught him, the off balance of Ward, and you go down. But as they say, it's not about how you get knocked down, it's about how you come back up. Yeah.
And quite similar to the Badu Jack James DeGale knocked down in the first round. It's more sort of, you get clipped with a shot, you kind of get back up, you see that you're quite strong with your legs, but some fighters, they'll get up and they're quite jelly legs. When they're walking back, you can tell they're hurt. But obviously, with that instance, there was a flash.
And obviously, Magdalena's power, I mean, that was something that he was kind of not massively known for, but we knew that he was a strong puncher going into it. Once you received that knockdown, did you think, actually, his punch is not that hard, actually? I think I can mess with this guy,
But, previously, I'd sparred with Jesse before, I think, for 4 years, or 2 years, I think 2-3 years before that time, yeah. So we kind of like knew what we're getting ourselves into, and he was strong. We knew at the time I hadn't even had 10 fights, I had about 4 fights, and it was a hot sparring session, and it was good. So we had a good feel of each other.
Yeah.
So I mean, everything just kind of like it was like as if God had just prepared everything down. It was just go through a little bit of adversity, and yeah, that's it. So it was awesome.
Yeah. And obviously, you fought in the States, and this is like second time running now, and you hadn't fought in the States like for a while. It's quite early in your career. How did that going into catching a flight over to the States, knowing that you're kind of the away fighter, the underdog? How did the atmosphere affect you in terms of your preparation until if it did?
Well, it was my first time fighting in Philly, but I was based in California.
Okay.
When I turned pro, after my second fight, I had my first fight in Switzerland. My second was in Ireland, and then after that, I moved to California. I was in California for a few years, I think about 2 to 3 years. Yeah. Before, when my grandfather passed, I moved to Ghana, and that's when we just started, fighting away from there, So it was kind of it wasn't like an unfamiliar territory, because we had fans coming from California to Philly to support us.
Yeah.
So it was great. I didn't feel like this is they're gonna try rob me or anything. No, I never felt like that.
Yeah.
We know that the BBO organization is a prestigious organization where everything we believe is fair and square, and Top Rank also, because they believe that these are talent, these are young talents. So everything you just have to put the work in. If you believe that you're going to win the fight, go out there and win it. But you can't, when you lose, you cannot be like, I was robbed, this person done that, or that person done that, or the judge wasn't fair to me, or the ref wasn't fair to me. Nah, I never had those thoughts. And we knew that, they are fair people. when you win, they'll give you the win. If you lose, they'll give you, you've lost.
You lost.
So we knew it was one of the things that we just had to go there.
And outside of that, what you've clearly been doing is taking it into your own hands. So if you knock
Exactly.
the guy out,
Exactly.
the judge don't have any say in this at all, right?
Only if the judges, it rules out, yeah. But yeah, just elaborating on Kojo's point there about going into someone's backyard, whether it's be a neutral territory or going, just traveling abroad from where you're used to and where you sort of associate yourself with at home. What, in terms of not necessarily pressure, but with the exposure and the hype behind the fight, with Top Rank being such a credible promotion, and having your team behind you, such high caliber of people that can make sure that you're, tapered down and get the job done. How much of a relief was it to make sure that you got the job done in the end?
Going into the fight, you know that Philadelphia is a boxing city. It's a boxing state. So we knew the crowd were gonna come out. They were gonna be like, yeah, this is it. And it was great. It was one of those things where, like I said, we never had second thoughts about we're going to fight at this place and the people are going to be supporting Jesse or whatever. Nah, it wasn't. Jesse is from Vegas, and it was a neutral grounds, and we never had no doubts of robbery or anything. Like I said earlier, the focus was that we are going there and we're going to take it. We're going to claim the title.
Yeah.
We're going to walk in anything that Magdalena through on that day. We're just on the night we're gonna walk through it, and just go there and knock him out. We knew the knockout. We knew we were gonna knock him out. We just knew it was gonna be a knockout. But what I wasn't expecting was a first round knockdown.
That's the last thing you want as a fighter.
So I just got to kick in here.
I was expecting that at all. So being able to go there, and we actually thought that it was gonna be an early knockout.
Victory for you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the way it panned out, like I said, God has his own plans, and it made the fight exciting.
100%.
He knocks me down in the first round, and then I come back, knock him down in the fifth, and it was just like going back and forth like a Rocky movie.
Well, I was just about to say, no lie. I was going to say it is like a movie in terms of when you get your dream shot. I guess maybe some fighters will say, no, I just want to finish him as early as possible. But to have that sort of first round knockdown, battle through adversity and come back and get the win. Obviously, we've seen that with Joshua. That is kind of how you would like to have people to follow your name, right?
Exactly. I mean, we always appreciate the fact that you have to go through some level of adversity in order to achieve something great.
Yes.
And being able to go through that, to pull through it, go down, get off the canvas, and then come and, stop the champion. So it really created an impact. Made the world really. It solidified my name in world boxing, and everyone being like, wow, where's this kid coming from? Just like the storm, they don't see it coming.
Exactly.
But once it comes, it just comes.
You got to get out of the way.
Yeah.
And I was just going to say, Tom, and one of the things you mentioned quickly was about your team. And obviously we've got Melissa in the studio with us, managing the PR. Melissa, do you want to just maybe talk about how you guys started working together and obviously the impact that you're bringing to Isaac's career and how you find working with Isaac and so forth? Just give us a bit of an insight.
Yeah, sure. Well, Isaac and I, it's more so Paul. Paul I've known for quite a long time. I need to put it out there that Paul and Isaac have done everything themselves. They market everything. They come up with the ideas. They've got them to where they are right now. Yeah. Us coming in at this point is just purely to help highlight the situation. And it's not a cliche thing to say, but it really is an honor to be part of that journey.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing part to see him grow. And now the world finally knows about this guy,
Yeah.
But Paul is the driving force behind it. And, we all want Paul to get the recognition. He's such a humble man and he's such a, great person to be around. And we learn so much from him. He's the one that really teaches us everything. So, yes, obviously, it's just about getting Isaac recognised in Britain, because obviously with them being on the road for such a long time, they are mega, stars in Ghana.
Yeah.
So they've established themselves there, and now being with Top Rank Boxing, they're now getting the US market behind them as well, and now it's sort of bringing him back to the UK. And obviously now he's starting to get the recognition, and we very much appreciate all of the support that we're getting.
And just following on from that point, Melissa, you talked about obviously Isaac's proud, Ghanaian heritage, and I mean, if you're talking about, let's just say, name a fight of a carbon copy, maybe talk about. In the bantamweight divisions, Alane Tete from South Africa. Obviously, when you look at his PR stuff and his social media, you always see him, chopping down a tree and getting his village together and supporting his victory. How much has this victory resembled the strife and struggles that most Ghanaian people have come from in the past?
Well, you have to understand that for many years, Ghana boxing really died down. You never really used to hear about Ghanaian fighters or anything going on in Ghana.
Yeah.
Until 2015, when we went back to Ghana, as a result of my grandfather passing away. So, it was almost like a curse, but also a blessing to Ghana boxing.
Yeah.
It was a sad moment for us, but then it actually brought something out, also like gave us the insight into
an opportunity, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
In the boxing community. It was so bad to the extent that BoxRec were not recognizing Ghanaian fighters when they fight. So my father suggested, what, since we're here, let's have one fight and see how that goes. So one fight turned into two, and we had the opportunity to fight for the Africa title, the WBO Africa, and that put us in number 15 in the world rankings.
Yeah.
So through that and through our, promotional company, we set up a promotional company, Rising Star Africa Promotions. So everything my father started operating under that, funding it by himself, having to borrow money from friends and family, to put on the shows and stuff like that. So nothing was coming in, no sponsorship, nothing, no grants, nothing at all. So he was funding everything from his own pocket. And by the help of his friends, having the belief that, having the belief in him that, so they were able, they always borrow him the money to actually put on a show and stuff like that. And
that's at the Accra National Stadium, a lot of those fights as well. Or?
Exactly. So all the fights, through everything that we're doing, having a fight there, we're able to, with our international contacts and affiliations, we're able to write letters to BoxRec, and actually explain the situations to them, how the things were being run, because there are a lot of people who are doing a lot of underground business in the boxing community. So that was the reason why they weren't recognizing Ghanaian fighters anymore, because this person will lose and then they'll go and say no, and this person won and try to change, their record and things like that. So we're able to change that, and a lot of things, now we're putting things in place.
Yeah, more credibility,
exactly,
more recognition for the fighters, and we've seen that now. And I know obviously you've been pictured quite a lot with Mr. JJ Rawlings and all types of stuff. But the key thing I do want to ask you is your welcome home party, I guess you would call it. After you won the belt, you went back to Accra. I mean, that was amazing. How did that make you feel?
I mean, it felt great because having revived Ghana boxing and also having the privilege of knowing all the ex-presidents in Ghana, it was great, And every time we put on a show, we always had the ex-president JJ Rawlings, attend, and I'm actually related to him, from his mother's side, so it was so.
I thought you were talking about the author, J.K. Rowling. I was like, where's my head going?
no Harry Potter over here.
So, and always had the British ambassador, British High Commission, the ambassador and his staff always come and support us. Always come, coming in their numbers to support us. It was great. And it's always awesome to have the support of many of these high class people, and also the locals. Oh man, it was great. And going back to Ghana with the title, man, it was amazing. You should see the video on YouTube. It's
I've
amazing.
seen some of the videos, and
it's amazing, man.
And for me, I mean, obviously, you spoke about Ghanaian boxing, and we know the kind of massive name is the Prof. Azuma Nelson. Done great things over the years. We've seen Richard Comey have some really entertaining fights. Clottey fought Pacquiao. But obviously, you're now setting the standard, and I mean, it must feel really good knowing that. For me, in my opinion, the Prof is why I got into boxing. I feel that Ghana, we've got a lot of boxing talent. Not just the Jamestown region. You go to Ashanti region, there's guys there. How does it feel now? Really, you're the flagship. How does it feel? You waving the flag and representing not just the Britain but also Ghana in terms of boxing on the world boxing scene.
It's a blessing. I've always said it's God that makes all things possible, and like I said, I've had the privilege of knowing all the ex-presidents in Ghana, and the current seating one, Nana Akufo-Addo.
Yeah.
So having the strength with my team, my father in particular, being able to revive boxing in Ghana, and now putting Ghana back on a boxing boxing map. It's great. It's a great feeling that we've contributed highly to Ghana boxing and everything else. Now, if you're in Ghana, people start to talk about boxing.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I'm fighting, people stay up late to watch boxing.
Because before it was mostly like, not saying it was necessarily football orientated, but the likes of Michael Essien coming through, Asamoah Gyan, all the Ghanaian football team, and how they did so well at the South Africa World Cup as well. A lot of pride and support from the country, but to see obviously you transcend the sport of boxing in Ghana must be a very proud moment for yourself.
Definitely.
I mean, I can tell you. So obviously with this show, we do like our texts beforehand, let people know who's on the show, and I'll send it to family in Ghana. And when you were fighting, they were like, "Hey, could you watching the fight?" We were watching the fight, and people were staying up, and they were up. And then when it was first round knockdown, I mean, the star beer was flowing.
Let me tell you one story. When Philadelphia, and after the fight, I think it was around like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. And we were there, and then we finished the fight. I couldn't sleep, so everyone we just came down to the lobby and just sitting down with the whole team, everyone. And I had a phone call. And then, a guy just phoned me. Was like, I just said, "Hello, who is this, please?" And all I could hear was, "Isaac, Ghana is on fire! Isaac, Ghana is on fire!" And you can see this guy, his voice is gone.
His voice is
but
honestly.
He's still screaming through the phone.
And he's even shocked that he got through to you, right?
Ghana is on fire!
Honestly. And
they're screaming, and I could hear the noise in the background. I think so. I said, "Oh my days!" It was
amazing. And so, will you be going back to Ghana anytime soon? Now, obviously, with
I will be I'll be going back to uni in January.
Wow.
I've just been accepted in Penn State University.
Okay.
It's a big university in America.
I'm not sure they've had many world champions on their campus.
So I've got to prepare. So right now I'm here, trying to get back into the groove, because being out of school for about almost, I think, probably approximately about 5 years.
What are you interested, like study wise?
I'll be studying international affairs.
Okay.
Yeah. So
following
politician
the
on the making, right? We've seen George Weah do it, so why not have Isaac Dogboe for boxing?
It's more or less about the humanitarian aspect, human development, and those sort of things. That's essentially the most important thing to me.
Yeah.
Because I believe in giving back to society.
Yeah.
And traveling around the globe, going to many places. Sometimes you see many things and you think that, look, I can also contribute something, 100%. To society. And the most important thing for me, that is, giving back.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of less privileged people, and you just think that, look, yeah, this is it. I think that this may be my calling.
Yeah.
You know, so you have to pursue something, and if it's the right thing that God has set up for you, you definitely be able to go through it. And yeah, essentially that's the most important thing.
And obviously pursuing your studies to go to university, you're following the footsteps of another Ghanaian, Joshua Buatsi. What's your sort of perspective on his meteoric rise to in British boxing at the moment?
You know, Josh is very, very talented, and I don't know if you know this, but we are related.
Oh, wow.
Josh is my cousin.
Exclusive.
Wow.
And you know, so
Champ in all avenues.
I was gonna say it's in the blood, it's in your lineage, right?
exactly. Josh is I mean, when you think about boxing, he's very, very talented. You know, he's a focused guy, and there's nothing you can really take away from him. He's doing great. You know, he's someone that, you know, keeps his head down. You don't see him as the type of guy that you see me at different parties, or
he's
he's
very
very, very focused and disciplined.
Like yourself, one of the nice guys in boxing. I mean, Joshua Buatsi.
It's a Ghanaian thing, bro.
It's a Ghanaian thing, yeah. But us Irish people, we just, you know, come out and get slaughtered.
But
and,
trust me, the best fans you can have, some of the best fans you can have is Irish fans. You know, when you're fighting in Ireland, oh my days, like come on the support. Oh, I remember when I had my fight in Ireland. Oh man,
get all the Irish people screaming
great.
Neho.
Great.
While they're drinking that pint of Guinness.
You know what it is? It's that West African connection between the Guinness, man. They love Guinness, we love Guinness, so
Good stuff.
great support.
And you know, it was great because it was through Carl Frampton. You know, that's when I got a fight in Ireland because I was his chief sparring partner for a very long time.
Nice.
So then, you know, at the time, his management team and promotion, you know, they kind of like offered me a fight there, and really enjoyed it.
That's great experience.
Future opponent, possibly? Frampton?
Oh no. Frampton,
too close.
I see Frampton like a big brother, you know. So yeah.
Thought I'd ask, but yeah, no, that's good. Obviously, like I was going to actually touch on the you know, the division at the moment is so, you know, thriving with obviously yourself, Daniel Roman defending his belt against McDonnell.
Yep.
Vargas obviously beat their twin brother Gavin. So I mean, it's a massive division at the moment at 122 pounds. If you were to say tomorrow, get a contract and go one opponent, who would you choose?
Roman and Vargas.
At the same time, it's like the same night.
They both have titles. You know, we won the titles.
Bring in Paul, tag team.
Exactly. You know, we won a war title. You know, that's essentially that's the most important thing right now.
I think
we're looking to unify the division,
Yeah.
and I believe that Roman is signed to Eddie Hearn, which could be a great fight on British soil.
Yeah.
You know,
I think we're looking at one of the first few unified champions that will be going back to university. I mean, that's
God willing.
That's a statement, right?
God willing, most definitely. You know, because look, the super bantamweight division, you don't really hear a lot about them because
Only hardcore boxing fans sort of
the world champions in the division, it's like they don't want to put their name out there. They don't want to put themselves out there.
Yes.
You know, so it's always like they are management or promotion, they're kind of like hiding them away. They don't want them to fight with tough opposition. You know, but we believe that once you fight other champions, that's what's gonna put your name on. That's what's gonna make you great. Yeah. You know, and the fans too, they're paying a lot. They're paying hard-earned cash, you know, to watch these fights. So why not give them exciting fight? You know, give them something that they can go back home and feel like, yes, that was the best fight I've ever been to. You know, that was something that, you know, I want to see that guy again. You know, so just give them that sort of, you know, the heart. Exactly.
100%.
We believe that will be great for TV. You know, Eddie has you know, Sky Sports, and recently the Zone. You know, and I mean, I'm with Top Rank. You know, ESPN. It'll be great. I mean, they can work something together.
I think it's like you said, if the fighters want it, you can make the fight happen.
Exactly. It will be exciting. The fans would love to see that fight. Two champions, two guys that, you know, just like to fight. Let's make the fight happen.
Get the ball rolling.
Exactly.
So listen, we're just going to open up the lines. I know we've got a couple of callers, so we're going to open up the lines, guys, and we'll keep them open throughout the rest of the session. So we're going out to 569. 569, the floor is yours. Hello.
Yo, Kojo, how you doing, Mark? Hey, Tom, how you doing?
How you doing, Mark? You well?
Yeah, good. What about yourself, buddy?
Yeah, we're doing really good work. We got a world champion in the studio with us, so we're feeling more than privileged.
Mark, give us a Neho down the line before we start.
Yeah, every caller has to
Hey,
do
Neho!
No. So, Mark, what's your question to Isaac?
Isaac, keep doing it. I'll do it back to you all night.
So, Mark, listen, you got a question or statement for Isaac?
Yeah, just a couple of questions, if that's okay.
Yep, no problem. Fire
Sure,
away.
Mark.
Fire away.
Yeah. Hey, Isaac, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Mark. How about yourself?
Yeah, good, thanks. I just want to say, obviously, just a brilliant fight with the Magdalena. The guy you fought last time, you made easy work of him, but yeah, that Magdalena fight was, man, that was lit, man. It was on fire. So
Thank you.
I stopped up for that. I just thought it was absolutely awesome. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And my question is sort of what is next for you, and then after that, is there any chance of you moving up? I know you just ruled out Frampton, but you got other champions there, Santa Cruz, Gary Russell Jr. that I just think would be awesome.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, what's next for me is that we're looking forward to doing a unification, hopefully in December before the year ends. And we hope my team is actually looking at any of the other world champions. That's Vargas and Roman. So after that, after the unification, we're looking forward to moving up to the featherweight division. Because look, I'm 5'3.5". The half has to come because it's very important. I'm still growing, so I've got to, move up quickly because we're trying to, get to about 5 to 6 weight divisions.
Wow.
Until I retire. So we've got a great future ahead of us.
Sounds really impressive.
Yeah, it's really really exciting stuff. And yeah, I just want to say good luck for the future. And,
Thank you.
And good luck for university as well. It's awesome that you care so much about education, because that's a big thing, So good luck.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you.
Perfect. Thanks, Mark.
Excellent, Mark.
That's it.
Cheers, guys. Yeah,
Cheers, thanks.
have a great evening. Have a good show.
Thank you very
All the
much,
best,
mate.
Mark. Take care.
All right, take care. We're going to go out to 985. 985, I think that might be one of our residents. Hello?
How we doing, fellas?
Yes,
Daniel,
we're not
how
paying.
you
You
getting
right?
on, mate?
Yeah, how are we? All right?
Yeah,
We're
good.
doing great. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fantastic, thank you.
Great.
What's on your mind, Daniel? Question or statement for Isaac?
Isaac, listen, just keep doing what you're doing. Don't let the success get to your head. Just keep working hard, mate.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's all I can really say, really.
Thank you. I appreciate your advice, son.
That's all right. Anytime, my
Cheers.
friend. Listen, Kojo and is it Tom? Is it?
Yeah, Tom, Dan, how you getting on?
Wait, hold on.
is it Carl-
When you
Carl or
say
Tom?
Kojo, who are you talking to? Me or
you're Kojo?
or the other Kojo?
Hey, man, you got two Kojos in the studio, mate.
There are
Which
two
one?
Kojos in here. Which one? Is it the big Kojo or the little Kojo?
Kojo Senior,
the
Kojo
champion.
Junior.
Mr.
champs.
Kwarteng, Mr. Kwarteng.
No, don't say
Okay,
big or
okay.
small. It's champion or non-champion.
Listen, we're all champions in our own right. We're all champions in our
Some
own
of us
right.
have the
Listen,
some of us have the
Of
belt
course,
though. But yeah, nah.
We don't all have the charisma like you, Daniel.
So what's on your mind, Dan?
question
Yeah.
to the guys in the studio. The fights on the weekend. Garcia
Porter.
and
Yep.
Porter.
Great
I want
fight.
to know who you guys think will win. And whoever does win, who would you like to see them face?
Isaac, we leave that one to you.
Honestly, look, I think Porter has. I'm good with Sean Porter because every time I've seen Porter fight, Porter is someone that leaves everything in the ring, and I think it's gonna be a great fight. Garcia is a great tactician, but I believe that Porter has that extra sort of fire, and the determination to go all the way.
Yeah.
I'm a big Porter fan, so I'm sticking with Sean Porter.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. I think Porter's relentlessness, his engine, I
Exactly.
think gets him a lot way in fights. I think the Furman fight, I was watching it back the other day and I just thought, I mean, in terms of just the way he presses the fight, and he's not sort of someone that's, if he gets clipped or if he gets hurt, he's just going to come forward and keep throwing punches. So, like you said there, I think with that extra fire in his arsenal, I think he's got Garcia's number, to be honest. How about you, Coach? What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think it's hard to disagree. I think for me, I'm picking Porter. He's been in the studio, really nice guy. But I do think it's his pressure that he applies. Is Garcia going to have the weight and the strength to back him up? Because obviously in the past he's come up to 147. He's not a natural 147. And could that be a slight difference? I don't know. I think Garcia may be the better boxer, just slightly. I do think he gets underrated in terms of his past opponents. You know, he's beat a lot of credible guys, but I think Porter's got that aggressiveness, up in your chest, sort of non-stop bullying style that is going to cause him issues. We look at the Porter-Berto fight, and I think Berto, as much as he's known for being a physical boxer, he couldn't really deal with what Porter had to offer. So, yeah, I would say I'm going to go with Porter, but I think it should be a very close and entertaining fight. Who are you picking, D?
You know what? For a while, I was picking Garcia, right? But I screwed my lunch a little bit, and I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to have to go for Porter. I'm just going to, I'll just go for Porter, really. Like you said, fucking tenacity in that ring. And I just think Porter, I think he'll win on points, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think it will go right. I think it will go right to the end. And I think Porter will be victorious. Yeah,
and before I let you go, Daniel, the last thing
I believe that the winner has to fight either Errol Spence Jr. or Terence Crawford.
Yeah,
it will be a fantastic fight.
I wouldn't have. That's exactly what I was going to say. I think the winner has to. Maybe they can have one defense, kind of just acclimatize to the belt, but I think they need to go for the big fights. 147 is so stacked that there's so many different options. You know, you need to kind of just fight the best. And all of those guys are seasoned now. They fought Thurman. So Spence Jr. is the perfect matchup, in my opinion. Yeah,
I have to agree with that. I think the 147 divisions, is booming at the moment. Obviously, you touched on there. Thurman, Spence, Crawford moving up, unifying the super lightweight division.
Exactly, yeah.
There's a lot of talent even coming through in the UK, but obviously at the elite level, like you said there, Daniel, Porter, and a lot of these fights will go the distance because these guys are tough, natural, fully fledged welterweights.
Exactly. So definitely interesting. So Dave, we're gonna move on to the next caller, but I appreciate the support as always. So can we get a neho from you before you? Can we get a neho before you go?
Can we get a say that again, my friend?
Neho.
Neho. Can we get a
neho?
A whistle?
No, neho.
NEHO.
MEHO. Neho.
Yeah, there we go. We got there. All right, thank you very much.
Top man.
Take care. So we're going out to 644. 644. The line is open.
Coach.
Yes. Is that man like Inam? Not too bad. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Who's Isaac in the studio?
Yeah, we're here with Isaac and we're here with Melissa and man like Tom.
Champ hasn't disappeared.
He hasn't disappeared.
Thank you very much for coming in, Isaac.
I appreciate
how you doing, Tom? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you, mate. How are you?
So Inam is also on this panel, but he's not here today. But yeah, go ahead. Inam.
Yeah.
So I was talking about I've been asked already.
It's a bit not. Sorry, Inam. Slow down.
Yeah, can you
Start
hear me
again.
now?
Yeah, we hear you better now. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, have you done anything like just any cancellations in the World Boxing Series? To take part that comes out of it.
World Boxing Series. Any invitations? Any communications?
No. We haven't heard nothing.
Yeah,
from
something
them,
you'll be interested in, maybe.
Well, at this moment we are actually engaging in we're looking for unification fights.
Okay.
That's what's on the
Some
plate right now.
negotiations going on in the background.
So
that's
right now that's the aim.
Discussions happening in the background until someone pulls out. Because look, you're one of the one of the world champions. You should really be in this tournament.
But
tournament.
It is, but then sometimes you kind of like you want something different, It's like you are in your own world now, and the other champions are there. I mean, we want 2 belts. I mean, if they were in the tournament, then we would do everything in our power to try and get in the tournament. But since they are not in there, then yeah, it's basically
it's a tough division. You know, you got Zolani Tete. You know, you got the Chinese or the Japanese guy that's come up. What's his name?
But that's bantamweight.
Joey.
Yeah.
That's bantamweight.
That's the bantamweight.
They're in the bantamweight. I'm super bantam. I'm 122. They are 118.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what's your plan for the next fight, Isaac? What are you planning to do next?
What we are hoping to do a unification. That's
any exclusives you can give us?
Well, at this moment we can't give anything. We cannot jump into conclusions, but we can say we're hoping that the other champions, they step up to the plate. Yeah. We know that Roman is fighting, I think September something, 6th or October 6th, something like that.
He's on the design card as well, right?
Yeah.
How much inspiration do you take from Azuma Nelson?
Oh man, Azuma Nelson is a personal friend, you know. So every time I'm fighting, he's always there. Every time I'm fighting in Ghana, he's always there. You know, he's great. Same. I mean, I have great relationship with most of the fighters in Ghana, especially all the legends in the likes of Azuma Nelson, Clote, Joseph Agbeko, Aikote, and So I mean, it's a blessing really to know all these great fighters.
Is Agbeko still fighting? I think if I was Mares, before Abner Mares many years ago, I don't think I've seen him since. So is he still fighting there?
Yeah, he's still fighting. I mean, he's still climbing up. He's getting back to he's climbing back to the he's climbing back on the ladder, and I've seen him in some small shows fight in Ghana. So yeah.
All right.
Yeah, African boxing is doing well. As I say, you become a world champion. Zolani Tete is in the World Boxing Super Series, and let's not forget Anthony Joshua as well. So thank you very much for taking my question, Isaac.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks,
have a great evening.
Cheers. Thanks for the callers. For now, we'll try and open the lines a bit later, but we don't have much time. So guys, just want to ask, and Melissa, I'll let you take the lead on this if it's okay. The media tour. Obviously, Isaac's been around, getting more sort of like exposure. I saw the London Live, which was great, ITV News. How has that been for you in terms of how positive has that been, seeing how people have responded to Isaac?
Well, I think it's very positive because he's not fighting in the UK.
Yeah.
He's fighting in the US. Yeah. So, I mean, that just says it all, doesn't it, really?
Yeah.
It just can't get better than this, really. After that fight, he really showed his talent.
Yeah.
And the more interviews he does, we get such positive feedback. He comes across so great on camera.
Yeah.
He's just like this little diamond that's just been sitting there waiting for the world to see.
And we've enjoyed having you guys in the studio. So obviously for the Atake fight, and we're going to get into that a bit more, Isaac, but obviously I saw you in the pictures waving the British flag. You were there doing the ring walk, speaking to the Bob Arum and such. How was it being in the arena as a fan, kind of like when that first knockdown took place? Like, was that something you visioned?
Well, I mean, obviously between the team, we all sort of make our predictions and we say, what round do you think he's going to knock him in? I picked round 3.
Okay, good. Still early. She has faith in you, Isaac.
So I picked round 3 and we all, in the team, in the change rooms, what round do you think? And obviously the walkout, always, it's just a mind-blowing experience to walk out into the arena. And as soon as we were in the tunnel, like fans were sort of leaning over, Isaac, all this the US love him.
Oh, good.
And then when we got to the ring and we were on the outside and I was just trying to get the flag in the angle of the camera.
It worked.
Because it's so colourful. You've got the beautiful Ghanaian colours. Yeah. You've got the British flag. You've got their outfits are just, the branding's amazing. 100%. And anyway, so we was all settling in. There's done, the counting and the referee's giving the instructions in the middle of the ring. We're trying to find our seat. I'm not joking. I was still trying to put the flag down.
Yeah. And then the
fight's over. Had my back to the ring and I just heard, rah, yeah. I was like, no way. The guy's on the floor. I'm like, what? So I'm talking to the people around me. I'm like, hold a second, what's going on? And they were like, no, don't sit down. This isn't going to last. Don't get comfortable. This is going to end very soon. So, and then a couple of minutes later, it was all over.
Yeah.
And Melissa, if you could spread a message to the Raps on TV viewers that have obviously tuned in tonight, obviously from your perspective, where you've come from in terms of your career at this stage, obviously being with Isaac for a long time now and building that relationship, what would it be in terms of from the grassroots right to the top? Is there any particular tips or hints you'd give to someone that's,
like the amateur fighters coming through?
Started off with a struggle and they wanted to make that their ambition, like Isaac has.
From a boxing perspective.
From a boxing
perspective is just, you have to be taking it really serious. It's so easy to get, it's the distractions. You got to try not to get distracted. You've got to stay focused, train hard, stay, eat clean. And if you really want this, then you've got to work really hard for it. But I understand it's difficult. They've got these distractions, and everyone's trying to sell a fight on Instagram. We're that way as well. We're so active on social media. As you can see, Isaac doesn't shy away from the camera. He's a fantastic character. So he runs all his stuff himself. He's fully in control of that, but he's disciplined. I mean, that's
the way to be, right? Because I truly believe now the way boxing is transformed in terms of the social media element, exactly, the networking, but also you need to let the fans see a bit more of what you're up to and also that journey. So now you get people that watch your Instagram, your Facebook, they get to see the journey of your training, pre-fight, post-fight, get to see the team. I think that's really important now, I have to say.
I do, but in an amateur level, no. You need to stay away from all of that.
That is true.
It's the winning that does, that opens the doors. You just need to win.
Yes,
Focus on winning, get yourself to a certain stage, and then once you've got there, then you can let the fans in behind the scenes and kind of let them know. But it's very difficult. Mainly what I've seen is they just don't seem to listen. So the ones that listen will go far, the ones that don't will get left behind.
And there's not really any particular cutting point when you talk about obviously amateur experience and being able to build yourself up to the top. And then obviously when you do get to the top, like Isaac's position, to not be complacent, because we know Isaac is a humble person. He's obviously striving to be the best in division. But then how is there's no counteract to it. So what in terms of if you were like a manager or a trainer of that person that's made that way up, how would you be able to balance that saying, I don't need to particularly build myself anymore, but I don't need to get complacent because I've obviously won a world title?
Well, all I can talk is from what I've witnessed from Isaac. And, he is the most humble guy out there. And I think he did a recent interview as well where he stated that as far as he sees it, he's still got a long way to go. He's very humble about it. He doesn't let it get to his head.
He's not in the studio for anyone that's
asking. By the way.
He's zoned out.
I'm just talking on his behalf. But,
already eyeing up his next opponent.
Right? He's checking his stats. But so he's very humble about it. And you just have to find that balance.
And obviously our question is more in terms of the WBO strap, Isaac. I mean, you receive that now, you have that. Not only how heavy is it, but how much pride do you get when you see that belt sort of in the briefcase and it's in your possession? How much pride does that give you?
Well, I take a lot of pride in it because it's such a prestigious belt, and to be able to have one of these belts it shows the work that you're putting in, but that isn't where it stops, You always know that you always have to strive to achieve more, and that's the most important thing. Boxer's career and boxer's lifetime. Your lifetime in boxing it's not really long. So once you get one of these things, you just have to work hard and try to maintain it, and you have to always make sure that you're striving to set different standards. And that's the most important thing. And it's like it's almost as if you're giving a message to the people that look up to you. That look, if you set your mind to something, you can achieve it. You have to set a goal. In all things, you have to have your long-term goals and your short-term goals and your immediate goals. So once you do that, then you know that you're always progressing towards it. And exactly that's how that's what we do in my team. Always set a target, that look, my father will say, in 5 years' time, this is where we're aiming to be. In 2 years' time, this is what we're aiming to be. In a few months' time, we're trying to achieve this. So each fight, you know, we prepare towards it. And after that, we're trying to move towards something else. So constantly, there are goals and there are targets to be met. So you just have to keep working towards it. And
It's good to hear.
Well, I mean, it's been an absolute pleasure having you in the studio and introducing you to the Raps on TV platform. Obviously, all the Neho fans out there, make sure you tune in, whether it was live tonight or in the recorded version on YouTube. Hopefully, we'll have that all sorted for tomorrow. So just make sure you share and keep out for this young man's career, because the way I look at it is you've come from the bottom and you've just battled your way through hard times, and now you are reaping the rewards for hard work.
I mean, you have to understand that we've been on a long road, and it wasn't like as if the way boxing is seen in some of the places, like in Ghana or somewhere, they think that you have to be at the very bottom of life. Boxing is for the very very underprivileged people, people who have dropped out of school, who basically society, they have no future. So the only thing that they believe that they can do to survive is boxing. But that's the mindset that we're trying to change. Boxing is a disciplined sport that can be enjoyed by anybody. There are doctors who are in boxing, the likes of Klitschko. There are accountants, lawyers, so boxing isn't for one particular class of people. It's for people of all classes. So I'm from a family who were well off, but just the love of it. That's why we got into it. My father is someone that really enjoyed boxing, and he knew that. Look, he says that all his children, everyone has to do one sport, and but you can't be doing something just for the fun of it. You have to do something with a mindset, with a target.
Give it 110%.
Exactly, because sometimes you have a lot of time on your hands, and how do you spend that time? You have to channel it into something positive. You can't just, you have the time, so just misuse the time. Time is very, very precious, because in the end, you use your time constructively. You can achieve something without you even knowing it. That's why I believe that we still have to go back to uni, finish our education while we're still doing boxing, but then
progressive steps.
Exactly.
But it's all about it not being complacent, and it's not thinking you finished. So as much as the boxing, you're world champion, you're still going on to do other things. So the degree, in terms of being an athlete, we've seen Arsene Wenger, Tony Adams, we've seen various footballers, all types of people from all walks of life do it. We've seen presidents do it.
Exactly.
So I think it's quite humbling to know that actually you're not resting on your laurels. You're saying to yourself, no, I want more for myself, and I'll prove that I can be more to the people out there. So I think that's wonderful. One thing I was going to ask you actually is the Neho. Now, obviously, Ghanaian, I'm going to boast here. I know the origins, but for our audience, do you want to give us a big Neho and then also tell us what it means and how it came about? What was the point when you said this is what we're going to use?
You're not saying it right, man.
I know.
It's spelled Ohen backwards.
Yeah, but I'm saying Neho.
Neho.
No, you see, when I say you're not saying it right, you have to say it with some sort of no.
Yeah, I know my brother, but
no.
I didn't have the full man could
no.
say.
You have to
I don't know whether I want to take a punch off you or take shout it down.
But again, one more time and then the story behind it.
No.
Yeah.
Neho, I mean, it's a warrior term, simply means that we are uprooting, our adversaries, anything that they've planted, we're uprooting it from the ground, from the deepest part of the earth. So, going into the fight, it's some sort of like it's almost like it's a spiritual term, because you think about uprooting something, you think about uprooting the devil's plans, because ultimately anything when you with your future, when you're on this journey, there are a lot of things that will be in your path.
Obstacles.
Exactly. So you have to clear them. You have to uproot them from the ground.
I like it.
You have to clear everything. You have to clear everything that
Negative
that is
energy.
exactly everything, and just you your focus, you have to have that tunnel vision focus that you are heading to this place. Whatever is in your path, you're going to clear it. You're going to uproot it. You're going to neho it out of your way. You understand?
Well, I think
it gets you the destination.
No, that's been a top class, perspective, and I think you've inspired a lot of people from all walks of life tonight, being able to tell them your backstory. But it's been an absolute pleasure, Melissa. You too.
Last question before you just say sorry. So I was going to say Otako, because we didn't speak of Otake. I hope I'm getting that right. I've seen the video where you're doing the naho at the weigh-in, and you're showing the force. Going into that fight, did you think that you would have such a great performance as you did?
Going into the fight, we knew Otake was very strong. He took Scott Quigg to 12 rounds. Yeah. And in 4 years? Yeah, 4 years he hasn't lost a fight. So we knew that he was durable. Yes. He was really, really strong.
And he got good stamina.
Exactly. He was very, very conditioned. And, he just keeps coming forward. So going into the fight, our mindset was, you know what? First round, we're just going to go out there and just, test him. Just test the waters and see how this is going to pan out. But then round one came. My father was telling me, Isaac, take your time. Double guard, high guard, walk him down. So he gave the instructions, and high guard, I went forward, I was walking him down, and he just started throwing punches. And I was thinking to myself, I started seeing the openings, and everything that we're working on during the whole of the training camp, in the gym and everything leading up to the fight. I was just seeing everything like as if we're training, like I'm watching a video. Yeah. So I'm just seeing everything. So then I was like, you know what, this is it. For some reason, like, I don't know, some spirit just pushed me. I say it's the Holy Spirit, Yeah. So I just went for it, and one punch, went just folded, and then the next,
the finish was great. I mean, you came in with that hook, went down, but then you came in with about a succession of about 6 punches, and obviously the ref stopped it. But you were catching him so cleanly.
I thought the ref was going to even stop it earlier. Yeah. Because after he went down and he got back up again, and I hit him with the right, and I thought that was it, But then the referee counted again. When I hit him, for some reason I was kind of took a back step a little bit. Yeah. Thinking, because I saw that he wasn't looking good. Yeah. But then when I was looking at it, I'm looking at the referee and I'm looking at him at the same time, thinking the ref was gonna stop it, and the ref wasn't stopping it. So all I had to do was just trying to. Every time that I hit him, boom, boom. I know it's heavy shots. I'm feeling the shots that I'm throwing, and the ref is not stopping it. And I'm bouncing on my feet. Yeah. So every time the ref is not stopping it, like he's not jumping in, I hit him again. Yes. I keep hitting him again until the ref had to stop it, because I know myself. I know the power that I generate. My father tells me all the time, he always says that, look, you haven't developed your man strength yet, but the power you generate is the one of a middleweight, so
that's exactly. Tom, for your reference, that's what we call the Bankun tilapia strength.
Learn something new every day. But yeah, do you think so? Obviously, talking about the Otake fight and talking about how you caught him with that shot, did you sort of at the start know you had his number to be able to say he's not going to be able to contain my power?
That was the aim. We knew he would. We knew he's someone that was very, very durable. Because I mean. He just keeps coming. All his previous fights, just keeps coming forward. Yeah. So we're actually anticipating to see how hard he can, and he was very good at infighting, and with my style, he comes forward. I come forward. So it was like, okay, now let's see how this is gonna work out. So it was just one of those things where we didn't know what to expect. All we were expecting was, we knew it was going to be a knockout victory, but we're prepared to go the whole 12 rounds.
Yeah, and just finally before we conclude, Melissa, you might be able to give a better insight into this. When can the Rats on TV people find out about the Neho merchandise. Is there any
and our audience
announcements?
Get any competitions?
everything will be coming out very soon.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right now, it's still in the early days.
So I'm gonna hold
We
you
have-
guys to
we
some.
have-
Slick snapbacks.
We have some samples, going around, and we know a lot of people are yearning for some of these things.
And you know what, our listeners, our audience, they would definitely want to do some giveaways, competitions. So I'll be in touch with you guys to talk about competition,
Most definitely.
hats, t-shirts. I'm feeling the t-shirts as well.
Yeah,
We definitely want to get involved.
Just stay in touch with his social media.
100%.
So you got Twitter at Isaac Dogboe.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Instagram as Isaac Braveson, and you've got Facebook as Isaac Royal Storm.
There we have it. Make sure you
Definitely.
follow.
And, I mean, for Facebook, you have to hit on the page.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I can't.
Oh yeah, he
accept
can't any more friends.
There's a lot of stingy people go around in boxing.
I was like, you know, he's made it once he said no more friends.
For
it's
fame.
only like-
Yeah, click the gate shut.
Got one last caller that's called in very late. 012. We're gonna open up the line for you and let you get your question or statement over to Isaac. 012.
Mr. Joe Thack.
Is that Thack? Hello.
How's it going, Joe?
Hi lads, you alright?
Yeah, not bad, thanks. How you doing, mate?
Sorry guys, left it a bit late. Yeah, good, you?
No worries. You're the last caller, so you're the last but not the least. So what's your question or statement to Mr. Isaac Braveson, Dogboe?
I hope this hasn't already been asked. Obviously, I've not been listening to the show. Sorry,
right.
But just wondering. Obviously, congratulations on your last performance, mate. Thought you were outstanding. So spiteful. Just want to know what the plan is next, really. Unifications or a move up in weight or what? What's the plan?
Yep, that's it. Unification, and then hopefully you move up in weight. Go join the big boys.
Yeah. So what Isaac's told us is that eventually he would like to go up another 4 divisions, so potentially be a 5-weight world champion.
5 to 6 weight division.
5 to 6,
yeah.
The Ghanaian Pacquiao.
Exactly. so he's got good ambition there. I think he's got the power to sustain him. So yeah.
Yeah, certainly got the potential, mate. So yeah, wish you all the best. Look forward to watching it.
And Joe, it's Tom here. How are you getting on, mate?
Yeah, good, mate. You?
Yeah, have you got any sort of... We're just going to conclude with the Amir Khan fight this weekend. Have you got any prediction about how you think the fight's going to go with Samuel Vargas?
I think it's probably going to be points. Khan wide points.
Okay. Yeah. Any particular reason? You think that it's the first fight back with Le Greco, obviously not being a highly ranked opponent, but do you think now with Vargas being a more sort of durable and known proposition?
Yeah, well, that's it, mate. He's a bit more durable. We might make it a bit of a dogfight, Vargas. I question how much ambition Phil Greco actually had when he came in. I know he got caught early doors, but like I said, I question his ambition. Whereas I think Vargas will go there, at least make it difficult for Khan, And with that being said, yeah, expecting Khan to win wide on points. He should have the more than enough to coast that.
Yeah.
And the last one, Garcia Porter. Any thoughts on that?
I hate Danny Garcia and his dad, so I hope Shaw Porter wins.
That's an easy decision.
Joe, you better not be listening in, mate. From Philadelphia, fly over.
I know, yeah.
To be fair, though, Porter's a previous guest.
Philadelphia boys on me.
you're good there. So listen, Joe, thank you very much.
Take care, Joe.
And
See
we're
you
going to
later.
leave it to it. Cheers, take care. Cheers. Listen, and that's something that he's just touched on, actually, and I just want to quickly ask you, Isaac, as well. So obviously you've got Garcia and his father, Porter and his father, obviously yourself working with your father. I don't know if you can say this, but have you ever trained with another coach, and what difference does working with your father have? Is there any benefit?
My father tried to make me work with other people, but it just never worked. There were times when he was doing all the promotional things in Ghana and stuff. He tried to bring people in to be like, just to see how. But they themselves would be like, they tell my father that, look, Paul, I don't know what to teach your son. So I've never really worked with anyone apart from my father.
Yeah.
And, for me personally, having my father with me, training me and always being there for me, it's like, it's an added strength. When my father is with me, I feel complete. I feel like I'm unstoppable.
Yeah.
So every time I step, it's like going to the battlefield. You step on the battlefield, and you just feel like, look, nothing can touch
You're
you.
complete.
Exactly. So your father's spirit is very, very strong, and when it's
Belief
with
as
you,
well.
when he's with you, it's like you just feel unstoppable.
That father son belief must
exactly,
count
exactly.
a lot
So
as well.
every time we're going into a fight, I know that look, I'm not saying it's my father that is making me win the fight, but I'm saying I know that it is God that is putting him there to guide me. Once I keep listening to my father and listen to his advice, because I believe that it is God that imparts the strength and the knowledge into him for him to also reflect
Relay
it
that onto you.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's always great to have your father around, because that through thick and thin he's going to be there.
100%.
Through thick and thin he's also going to motivate you, and always our spirits, our mind and everything is connected into knowing that look, we're going into the battlefield and that no way that we're coming out defeated. You have that extra strength.
Yeah, it's more or less like a mechanism, really, when you work with, someone that gives you unconditional
Exactly.
love and, guidance. Do you feel that because you're listening to God, you're listening to your father, that it's inevitable that you're not going to let him down on fight night? It's going to be a straightforward sort of plan to say, you know what, I'm going out there for the win, Dad, and I'm going to do it for you and for the rest of your Ghanaian people.
We believe that it's not more so about doing it for my father. It's more or less about going there and fulfilling something. Because we believe that it's more or less about inspiring the next generation.
Yes.
Because what I always say to other people is that, look, you have to listen to your parents. You have to listen to your guardians.
Yes.
Because there's nothing that they're going to do to hurt you.
Yeah.
All they want, exactly, all they want to do, that the person doesn't have to be your biological parents or biological guardian or whatever. Anyone that has given you their heart or that has opened up to you to try and get you somewhere, you have to give him the benefit of the doubt that, look, you have to submit yourself to him. You have to be humble towards the person, because the person wants good for you. So you have to be able to, appreciate the things that they're doing for you, and also just listen to them and just work together. Most of the times, a lot of people, you get to a certain age and then you think that, look, I'm grown now, I'm a man now, so I'm a woman now, so I can do my own thing. Look, I really don't need your advice or whatever. But in all things,
it's all about respect.
Exactly. Yeah. Respect and humility. Because one thing that says that obey your parents, and all things, obey your parents in the Lord.
You can say in tree if you want.
Obey your parents in the Lord, and all things will be added unto you. That parent doesn't have to be your biological parent.
Yeah, but somebody that has care for
Acts
you,
as
best interest at heart.
It can be
as
your
well.
teachers. It can be anyone at all. Your coaches, anyone at all. And these people, they will fuel you in a way that you yourself, you will not understand. But once you get to that level of understanding, that's when you truly know that, look, this person really wants the best for me. No. And I know some people that started with me and they couldn't really finish. I remember when we were amateurs, the lot of people that I would say they were great fighters, but in the end, they didn't have the discipline to continue. They didn't have the endurance to continue. All these, I'm glad to have my father with me that, look, things, he was able to motivate me. Always say things that, keep me thinking. You get what I'm trying to say? So,
100%.
having someone like my father with me has really helped me a lot, because, it's not always about just the fight. It's also about your mental fitness. Being able to humble yourself and then use your brain.
No. I mean,
really and truly,
what you're saying
is you have to be to reflect on yourself. When you reflect and then you know that, okay, what this man said, wow, that's what.
But I think that's what you said there is quite an interesting thing, because we've dealt with various boxers, high level, low level amateurs, and you do find that the ones that are open to taking new information, the ones that want to soak up information like a sponge, learning, new techniques to fight, new things about the fight game, those are the ones. And also they pay homage to their team, because as much as it's them in the ring, they appreciate that there's guys and girls, sorry, Melissa, outside of the ring that are working massively to make them a success. So I think we can clearly see that you've got that. And honestly, just want to wish you all the best and just hope that you continue to unify as many belts as possible.
Amen.
Go through the divisions. Amen. And honestly, it's been as a Ghanaian, I could say it's more than a proud moment, because obviously, I believe that we're potentially looking at someone that could be the next Azuma Nelson. So
can see
all the best
emotion
for you.
code.
Oh, big time, man. Listen, I was about to have the flag, about to bring out some muchos, some fanais, fanyogo.
Carnival's extended for another 2 weeks.
Exactly.
We saw Isaac coming into the studio. We're like, do you know what? Let's delay Carnival and extend it and get him in.
But listen, guys, we're going to wrap up. So before we go, just quickly shout out all your social media handles. I know we've done it, but just do it again if you don't mind.
Yes. Everyone can get in contact with me on Instagram at Isaac Braveson, and don't forget to hashtag Neho. Neho.
Can we get you and Melissa to give it a 1, 2, 3 Neho?
On 3.
3, 2, 1.
Neho. Neho. And on Twitter at Isaac Dogboe, and don't forget to hit the like on my page on Facebook, Isaac Dogboe.
And guys, you'll see the interview out tomorrow on YouTube. We'll put all the promo on our Instagram account, so you'll see. We'll tag you in all the posts as well.
Sure.
Tom, you want to shout out your social media before we go?
Yeah. For the Raps on TV, at Raps on TV, Raps on TV YouTube channel, Raps on TV Boxing News on Facebook, and just shout out to all the plethora of media channels that are out there doing what they're doing. Keep it up, because at the end of the day, it's all adding to the growth of the sport.
Exactly.
I mean, we saw the. Actually, I was going to ask about the KSI Logan Paul fight. Isaac, what did you make of that?
That's not boxing, man.
I knew he was going to say that. That's what we like to see.
That is the answer. So listen, guys, and Melissa, what your final words from you? We'll let you close the show.
But I mean, sometimes you need to have some sort of all the manly aggression in boxing. You need some sort of comedy. So I mean, they kind of like put
I mean, they've done well numbers wise, but I agree with you. It's definitely comedy. So Melissa, you want to end the show?
Well, just again, thank you for having us, and
No problem.
just keep posted on Isaac's pages. We've given you the addresses, and it's going to be an interesting week. And thanks again for all your support.
Brilliant, appreciate your
we'll
time.
Definitely want to get you guys at least on the phone once you make the announcement of your next fight. Next
just keep
big
posted.
bout. Definitely
Keep
will do.
posted.
So listen, guys, thank you very much.
Tune in.
In.
Thank you all so much, Raps on TV. You guys have been great. Royal Storm Dogboe.
Thank you.
No.
Isaac, we're
Keep
only
listening.
the platform. It's you that are doing the talking in the ring with your fists. So
Exactly.
all props to you for what you've done so far.
Perfect. So guys, listen,
you.
thank you for tuning in. Thanks for all the callers. Show will be online from tomorrow. We'll be back next week. Enjoy the fights this weekend. Peace.
Neho.
Neho. That's going to be our signature to end the show. Neho.
And Howard Foster has stopped it. Wow. That is going to